Okay, you're on. Well, it's not seeing you, it's seeing the sign, but it's not seeing you.
It's not seeing me.
On?
Can you go stand back here? Okay, everyone, we'll be starting in just a minute. Again. There's Mom's hands.
That one's working. But
Yep. Oh, there. Now that one's working too. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yep. Now you can come over here.
All right.
Hi, everyone. We'll be right there. I don't know what the deal. Thought it was working. Okay. Are we good? You can see me?
I can see you. I'm waiting
Okay.
for it to come up on mine, but
Yep.
yep.
There's just a little bit of lag.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. Sarah here from the Paper Cut. Thursday night. And we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight for a little while. So what's going on at the Paper Cut? Well, this weekend on the One of a Kind page, and it'll also be on my YouTube, we'll be doing a craft along. My craft along is at 9:15 a.m. That's Central Time, so adjust that for your time zone. So this weekend we're doing the giraffe slider card and the pop-up card. So if you ordered the kit, you should have it. The one thing that you can do ahead of time, there's not too much to do, but the giraffe, if you can fussy cut him out in both kits, that would be great. You don't have to. That can always be done later. But while you're sitting there listening to Brian before I start, if you want to fussy cut your giraffes, yay, that would be great. And the only other thing that I used besides adhesive, and you do need a narrow adhesive, like an 1/8 inch, well, a 1/4 inch would be the biggest, or an 1/8 inch would be great. I did do a little bit of brush blending around here, and that's not required. So you can, if you have a sponge, a blending brush, a tan ink pad, but again, that's optional. So we'll see you on Saturday for that. Flip-flop cards. So I am going to do a fun time Thursday for flip-flops. I don't have it posted yet. I'm going to work on getting that posted tomorrow along with my recap email. So, but I do have samples done. So flip-flop cards. So there's that one. That's a white one. And then we also have a craft one. And that's the craft one. So that will be, I believe, 2 weeks from tonight. So, and I will get that posted. It'll be ready to go, sometime tomorrow along with my recap email. So you'll get all those links all at the same time. So that's what we have going on coming up. And I think that's about it. So let's go down to the table. So we're going to go down to the table.
Okay, you're there.
Okay, so we're down on the table. Tonight we're doing Twist and Pop cards. And the Twist and Pop cards have both a Twist and Pop insert and they have a Twist and Pop die. So you can do the same mechanism. You can either do pre-cut. Oh, my mom's playing with a dog toy, so I can hear her out there. So anyways, we have the Twist and Pop kit that comes with the steno card, a Twist and Pop insert, and then a little accordion. Or the Twist and Pop die does this part. So here's our Twist and Pop. It shows the scores. And the die does this section. Okay, so some of you got, like during our last comment sold, you might have ordered It's a Jungle Out There, or you might have ordered the Fox kit. So if you have that, you can work along with me to do the basics of putting it together. So you can do that while we're doing this one. Your sample is going to be different, but you can work on that with me for the assembly part.
Okay, will the flip-flop cards be in a kit to order?
The flip-flop cards. So let's just get them more close up. Flip-flop cards, let's just go back to that a little bit. Will be in a kit to order. You will get the pattern paper. You'll get the card base. For 2 of them, for these 2 that we're going to do in the class, you will get them all pre-cut. Okay, so you're going to get them pre-cut. The kit is going to kind of be like our kit that we did at Christmas time, where it was the scored card holder, and we did 1 in class. Well, this time we're going to do 2, and then you got some extras. So this kit is actually going to contain 3 white ones, not with all the pieces, 3 white blanks and 3 craft blanks. But then you'll get 1 of all the pieces to create this card, and 1 of all the pieces to create this card. Along with, I'm going to give you a little bit of extra pattern paper to go with the white and the craft. So in the class, they're going to come pre-die cut, so you don't actually need the dies to die cut them. But if you do have the deep etch dies, we are going to go through die cutting them. So even though they're going to come pre-die cut for these 2, you'll have 2 more white ones and 2 more craft ones. And then we're going to go through how to die cut them, both using the deep etch dies, where you can die cut, 3 layers at one time. And we'll also go through die cutting them where if you're just using a single, a regular shape, that you can only die cut 1 layer. So we'll do both of those in class.
So a bunch of blankety blanks, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get enough to make this whole card 1 of, enough to make this whole card 1 of, plus you're gonna get 2 extra white blanks to play with and die cut. You're gonna get 2 extra Groscher craft blanks to die cut. And if you want to die cut in class with me, you can, because we're going to go through that. You'll also get a little bit of extra pattern paper pre-cut to this size that you can use on your 2 blank ones, but you're just going to use your own design for that.
Sarah, can you tell us again, when is the giraffe class?
The giraffe is at 9:15 this Saturday morning. That's Central Time. It will be on the One of a Kind virtual Facebook page. We'll also be running it on my YouTube channel. So this one, I don't have the date in front of me, but like 2 weeks from tonight. So I'm going to do my recap email. The link for this will be in the recap email, along with all the products we used throughout the whole month. So you'll get that Friday, hopefully, or Saturday. And then at that time you can order this, and if you missed ordering anything from any of the demos during the night, you can get that, or during Thursday nights, you can get that stuff all at one time. So, but yeah, I thought these were super fun. So I had fun making this one with this pattern paper, and that's what kind of led me to tonight, because I decided to do a twist and pop in brown also with these same papers, with this one and that one. So yeah, pretty much they're going to come all pre-stamped. You are going to have to color this little gal. You're going to do some brush blending. Say I have some brush blending behind here and behind there, and some brush blending here, and again some brush blending right there. So we'll have plenty to do on that Thursday night. It'll be more than a half an hour like we normally run. It'll probably be closer to an hour, because we'll do these 2 cards in full, and then we'll do some die cutting. Where you can practice the die cutting also. So anyways, any more questions on the flip-flop one or the giraffe? Otherwise,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I said tomorrow, and tomorrow is...
Oh, tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Saturday.
Yeah.
Thursday is actually our Friday, because we technically, we're closed on Fridays. So the shop isn't open on Fridays. I'm usually working. Like tomorrow I'm going to be working at home. So yes, I am sorry. OOAK is on Saturday, the 2nd. So I'm going to put these aside, and we'll go ahead and we'll start the twist and pop. So anyways, the twist and pop, the die actually cuts this portion right here. And I did pre-die cut one.
Can you still order the giraffe kit?
I have very limited giraffe kits left. So if you want to order it, I would order it soon, because I am going to take it down shortly because I am going to run out of them. So yes, order your giraffe soon because I am going to take it offline. So this is the die cut one, and I'm just drawing out the scores so you can see them. Okay, so for folding, and I'll fold on both of them, the bumps are to the back. Now on our machine piece, the bumps, you can definitely feel the bumps. On the die cut one, you don't get the bumps on because when you're using the die, you just don't get the bumps as deep as when we die cut it on our big machines. So I'm going to fold this one first, and then I'll fold this one. So if you're working along with me doing either. So on the X, it's a valley fold. So it's a valley fold, open it up, valley fold, open it up. And then on the straight score, it's a mountain fold. So then go ahead.
For the giraffe, do you leave the little bit of white when you cut it out, when you fussy cut?
I leave a little bit of white. When I'm fussy cutting almost everything, I leave a little bit of white.
Okay, thank you.
I never cut right on, or this one would be cream in that case, but I never cut right on my lines. I always leave a little bit of white. Now if you're doing Stamplistic, I know they cut right on their lines, and then they take like a Sharpie or some type of marker and redraw that line on there. So anyways, so again, we're folding on the X. It's a valley fold, and then valley fold.
What is the brand name of the balloon paper?
Honestly, I have no idea. Oh, actually I do. It's Paper Studio. It just happens to be on the back of one of the pieces that I have in here.
Paper Studio.
Paper Studio.
And you picked that up at?
I got it at Hobby Lobby. The Paper Studio.
Thank you.
So, anyways, valley fold, and then on the straight one, you're going to mountain fold. And that's going to kind of bend it in like this, where then you bring the two arms in till they kind of meet, and you just give it a push. Now you can use a bone folder if you want. And on the big one, again, the two arms come in, and then you're folding it flat. So this is the twist and pop insert.
Where do you find the giraffe kit on
the class page?
On the class page.
The giraffe kit is on the class page, and it's like one of the first ones. So now I'm using a steno card. The question came up during the week, and I think this was on my, I do have a fan page too. If you are not familiar, there is a paper cut fan page that you can post your own samples. So I'll try and link that later. I don't know if my mom will be able to find it or not. So
Yeah.
we'll link that later. But anyways, a question came up when you have a bump, which way do you fold? So when it's scored, one side is indented, okay, and one side has a bump that you can feel. The bump is always the inside of the card. Why, you ask? I don't know. That's just the way I was taught in a family of die cutters and printers. So that's the way I was taught. The bump is always the inside, and I don't know if there's a reason for that or not. Now,
yes, because the paper folds better that way.
Okay, so, and it
doesn't crack as much.
Okay. And then on some of the ones that there's like diagonal folds and accordion folds, those rules all go out the window.
Yeah.
So now you're either going to put tape, if you're working with the die cut piece, you're going to put tape on the little triangles. So this is the die cut one, which is just the arms. Or if you are working with our pre-die cut piece, tape goes on this whole thing, and then you line it up. And I like to line it up so you can, you have an equal edge. When you're doing the die cut one, we put a little hole in there so you can almost put it right up to the score. Okay, and I'm going to work with this one, but they work the same. So I'm going to grab my tape gun because I don't want green. I do really want cream.
These guys are testing me today.
Oh, what was the question?
Nothing. It's just been a lot of things that I had to answer.
Oh.
Type in.
Yeah, my mom's getting really good at typing in the reply or typing in links and all that stuff. So she's doing that to make it easier for me for later on and for you, because then you can see them right away. And then we don't miss them. So,
Where do I find the fan page? Is that a Facebook thing?
yeah, it's a Facebook. It's the Paper Cut fan page.
Okay.
So now you could fold it down, but I like to actually just take this side to the other side of my steno card and give it an equal border. So, and then we have that with our little arms. Now I do have one. The difference here, well, this one already has our accordion attached to it, but the difference you can see is with our insert, it gives you this whole part on top and bottom is cream, where with the die cut, just using the die cut with the arms, your inside is, you know, the color of your card. So that is the main difference between using the two. So now we do have a insert, and oh, here it is. We have this insert. It's called I'm going to put it on the dark. It's the Twist and Pop layer or the Grad Cap card layer because it fits inside of both. We have that in white and cream, and it fits right onto this piece. And then it gives you a little border also. So, but we only have them in white and cream. And what I wanted to do was I want to take and I want to cut it out of my printed paper. The one thing that I'm going to caution when you're cutting out of your printed paper, if you're using a pattern, or if you're using pattern paper and it has an up and a down like the candles and balloons, if you cut them both, you know, going in the same direction, one of them when it's going inside your card will be upside down. So you really want to make sure that you cut in the correct direction, because one has to be facing up and the other one has to have the point facing down, because then your images are going in the correct direction. So in order to use pattern paper, I do like to use my little template here. I cut the width of my paper to the same dimension. So I cut the width of my paper to 4 inches, which is what this width is right here. And then once I do that, I'm just going to take a pencil or a pen and I'm going to draw my line, and then I'm going to take it to my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim it, and then I will have my layer so it will match. Now on this one, remember, I do want, because this one's going to go up here, and if I cut it in the same direction, then my balloons are going to be upside down. So I do want to rotate it. And again, I cut my paper to 4 inches. I line up my Twist and Pop layer. And I draw my lines. And then I'm going to bring my paper trimmer over here. And I'm just going to trim on my, or right inside of my pencil marks. As long as I can see. Well, if I didn't have little snippets on my trimmer, that would probably help. Now I could have cut the height of my paper to this point, and then I wouldn't have such a big wasted piece. And if I was doing this at home, I probably, not at home because I do all my stuff here, but I probably would do that. I just wanted to show you the up and down. And so now we have one, and that's
Wendy Little posted the link to the Paper Cut fan page.
Oh, thank you, Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been forgetting to mention that I have a fan page. So I think I posted the link, but not very often. Like once I think I posted it. So, but yeah, you can go on there and post your own creations. So if you use the paper cut to make anything, even no matter whose stamps you're using and such, go ahead and post there and tell us what products you use. And yeah, people like to see what everybody else makes. So this way I have my 2 pieces of pattern paper and my candles are running up and my balloons are running down, where had I cut them, you know, both going this direction, my balloons would be upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those. So that's the one thing with pattern paper. I like sometimes when it's cardstock instead of text weight paper, because depending on what you're using for your adhesive, it can get wrinkly. I'm pretty good with my ATG gun, so I usually don't get too many wrinkles, but I do like a good printed cardstock. So now when I attach that on, I have a little bit of cream border going all the way around too. Now I'm going to turn it around so I just don't like doing it upside down. I'll attach my other one. And I have my little bit of cream border. So we have that. And then we have our accordion. Now this is where I was talking about with the scores. All the bumps are on the same side. So then it kind of goes by the wayside. And we make this little W. Now when we put adhesive on here, doesn't matter. It's just you need tape on one side of the score and tape on the other side of the score. And you only put it about 1 inch in. If you put it too much further in, you'll tape your card shut. So I'm putting adhesive, and it doesn't matter. Like it could be on the top and the bottom, or on the, you know, it doesn't matter. These can be flipped around as long as it's opposite on both sides. Okay, now this is kind of the hard part, and I think I'm going to do it on my little sample one first, and I'm going to use a tape that isn't as sticky so I can take it on and off in case you're doing it with me. When you're attaching it, one side of your, well, depending on how you're looking at it, it's a W or an M, needs to be attached to one side and the other side on the other arm. You can't just plunk them down because it might buckle. Okay, so, and you got to make sure you're facing the right direction, because if you're in like this, that's not going to work. So it has to be, your W has to be facing out. Now, sometimes I'll attach one side first, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways. About 1 inch up from my score, and then I'll fold it, and then as you fold this down, we've got one arm on one side and the other arm has to go on the other side. And that lets it twist. Now if you don't attach it far enough down, you get it sticking out. So this other way that I like to do it is, I like to take it, and it's folded so it's going outward, and I like to kind of just set it, oops, I had that on the wrong side, kind of set it folded already kind of inside my card, and I'm just going to look up at you while I'm doing it, and see how one arm is on one side and one arm is on the other, and I have it almost closed, and then you can kind of see how it's attaching. So again, I have my W facing out, and I'm doing it upside down now. And then my arms, I have to do it looking away from me. That's just how I do it. My arms are on opposite sides. And I kind of just slide my accordion card in between my two arms so then they can close and fold down. So I'm going to go to my real one now. So yeah, it's a little tricky to explain, but one side of your W needs to attach to one side to the other, and this part twists around. Okay, so here we go on my real one. And again, I like to do this part upside down. So I have tape right there and tape right here. And I have my W facing out. And I'm just going to slide this inside there. Make sure that I'm not below the edge of my card. Kind of center it. And then fold it. And I made sure that my two arms were on opposite sides of my accordion. And voila! It worked. So now I did pre-assemble some squares. This is another thing that I've never put online, but I'm going to put these online. We've got these packets of, I believe, 100 of these squares pre-cut. Now this is a die set that we have, you know, that has this size, and even a bigger one. But those fit right on that little mini accordion. I think they're 2 1/4, or actually, yeah, no, they're 2 3/8. So 2 3/8 of these squares, and I'm going to put these on our sale page, and I'll link them in my recap video. So those aren't there yet either. Kind of bad at getting product on there before I actually demo it. Maybe I'll get better at that eventually. But they'll be in my recap video. It's kind of nice to have these squares all pre-done. Now, we could have attached these to the accordion card before we put it onto the arms, and that's usually kind of a little bit easier. It's a personal preference though. So we didn't muck up this too much, you know, with all kinds of images. It was just easier having that all brown before we attached it on. So now let's see, what order do we want to attach these in? I think I'll put the happy birthday first. But yeah, so if you're doing it mid-air, you just want to be careful not to push too hard. And you can't like flatten it out, so. So I'm just attaching my squares. Oops, that one's got to go there. Because I angled them. I did every other one angled. Forgot about that. There we go. So we have our twist and pop. Now all we need to do is finish the front, and I did cut a few pieces for this. Again, this might have been easier before we actually have all the stuff on the inside, because right now I'm fighting the bulge of the card. And actually, Sarah, get a little bit smarter, and maybe I'll build all of the pieces onto this blue one, and then I'll attach it.
Yeah, good idea.
And I don't know even what I'm totally doing here yet.
She's making it up, folks.
I am kind of making it up as we
on
go.
the fly, Sarah.
So.
You're really good at that.
So anyways, I mean, I didn't cut these pieces all the way, but. So I did cut, I am putting something in the middle of there. So I semi had this designed. And then I did have some happy birthdays, because when this started, or when I was designing my other card, I was, you know, working on birthday die cuts, and this happy birthday, I didn't like how it looked on the balloons. It just didn't stand out enough, and that's why I went with, what did I go with? I went with this, so it popped out. But that's why I have that happy birthday cut too. Like, I have it pre-cut. So I was like, I'm going to use that for my for my demo. And now the birthday, this is a problem. The birthday's a little long. So we're gonna say B day. So if the birthday is too long, then you just kind of do what you need to do. And now I'll find a straight section in here somewhere to make the little thing between B day. And actually I might cut that off of there. So yeah, that birthday was more for like a slimline card or the horizontal part of an A2 card. But we're just going to make it work. Oh, so anyways, another thing that I was going to tell you, and actually I did cut cream because I might back this in cream just so it pops out a little bit more. I think I am going to do that, but I'm not going to do it on camera today. I'll finish that up. But I was going to back that in cream just so it popped a little bit more. But anyways, I forgot to talk about this. Somebody had emailed, Pauline had emailed asking about different types of paper and what I color on. So typically, the paper that I do like to color on is our Cougars. So and you've heard me say that before, our 80-pound Cougar or 100-pound Cougar, they're really a super smooth paper. So I use them for my Copics. Well, we have some other whites too. So next week, I'm going to go through some of the different papers and coloring with Copics, coloring with watercolor. So we're going to talk about that next week. I did color these with Copics on our Cougar paper because the Cougar is a very hard paper, so it colors very nicely. But we'll go through that next week, and I also have a tip on how to get your images nice and dark. So I'll give you a little Endless Creations tip on coloring and getting your images nice and dark. So we'll do that next week, believe it or not. So I have my demo for next week planned as different papers, different types of coloring, and then I'll make some type of card. I don't know what that's going to be. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. So anyways, this one, I'm just going to leave the front of my card not attached right now. So yeah, this is going to be the front of the card. This is the inside of the card. And I will finish that up because I do want to layer my words with my cream. But we used our Twist and Pop kit.
They can watch this later here or on YouTube, right?
Yes. Yep, this one is here and YouTube. So our Twist and Pop kit or our Twist and Pop die. We've got our layers that we'll be posting that'll be semi-new. And then watch for our flip-flop. This will be a Fun Time Thursday kit. So the flip-flop will be on there on the recap email that you'll be getting. And if I'm seeing you on Saturday, if you want to trim out your giraffe, you can do that ahead. Otherwise, we'll see you Saturday morning, 9:15.